Hi, and welcome to Sarah's Cozy Kitchen. Today we are making day number 30 of 64 holiday recipes for my holiday baking series. And this is one of my favorites. We are making Oreo cookie balls with the salted caramel sauce. So these are really good. I gotta check my mic. These are really good for cookie trays, kids making them with kids, grandkids, young adult children, anybody that enjoys being in the kitchen. So there's 3 full steps in this recipe. I'm going to do them in 3 different parts. So we're going to make the cookie mixture first. Those have to freeze for 10 minutes. Then we are going to dip them in melted chocolate, and then they need to cool for 30 minutes. And then we make the sauce, and that has to for drizzling over the top. So it's just a little bit. So I'm going to have not a full video. I'm going to stop and start it, and then I'll put it all together at the end. So for the first part, all you need is a brick of cream cheese that is at room temperature. You need 1 package of Oreos, about 30 cookies, and you need a food processor, or you can do this by hand for squishing the cookies. So this is gonna be loud. I'm gonna do all my cookies in this. You want them pulverized. Now I have a okay. I have all of the Oreos blended now. That was quite the thing. If you have a bigger food processor, it's definitely better than these smaller ones. Okay, so a whole package of Oreos ground. All right. So 1 whole package of Oreos ground up. Okay, next we are going to take a spoon and just make sure you mash if you have any bigger pieces left in here. And so then I have a whole bowl of ground Oreos. Okay, next we're going to add the room temperature cream cheese, just right in there like that. And we are going to stir this up. You're going to have to mash the mixture together. I realize this is a lot of you staring at me stirring. Okay, so just keep mixing. You know what? This is true kitchen cooking. It's going to be easier to do it with my hands. So, my hands are clean. We're going to smash it all together. This is why kids will love this recipe. Okay, so I'm getting an ooey gooey mess like this. And it's going to look like fudgy. And this actually is good because then you're getting all of, if you have any bigger pieces, you're still getting them all squished together. Okay. All right. So this is what it looks like. So now we are going to take our hands. This is definitely a hands recipe. And then you have 1-inch balls like this, like Oreo size balls, Oreo walnut size. Roll them like this and put them on a cookie sheet. Whoops. Can you see that? Like that. Put them on a cookie sheet. You're going to end up with about 36. And then we're going to freeze these for 10 minutes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to either melt our chocolate chips, or I have melting wafers that I'm going to use. Oh, these smell good. Let's get this done for you. Who doesn't love Oreos? Everything I post about Oreos does really well. I have an Oreo fluff salad that I just made too. That's on my YouTube channel. Okay, so just keep rolling. You're going to end up with about 36. It's actually kind of satisfying. If you want to. So kids love this because it's Oreos cream cheese, chocolate, and then the topping is a salted caramel sauce, which we're going to make while these are cooling in the refrigerator after we dip them in chocolate. Okay, well, you're going to be stuck with me because I can't shut my camera off with my hands like this. Anyway, if you're like looking for a really good recipe, my peanut butter balls and my chocolate haystacks so far have been the best recipes. I think this one's going to be right up there too. The best recipes for Christmas so far. We're getting there. Just 2 or 3 left. Okay, next step. We are going to put these in the freezer for 10 minutes. Like I said, there's 3 full steps to this recipe. I got 2 more here. And 1 more. Oh, that came together really nice after my escapade of getting the Oreos squished, pulverized, whatever you want to call it. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video, putting them in the freezer for 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to coat them in chocolate. And then we'll make the caramel sauce while they're cooling in the refrigerator. Okay, I'm going to touch your camera now. Okay, 10 minutes and I'll be back. Okay, now we're going to make the caramel sauce that is drizzled over the top of the Oreo balls. So you need a saucepan. So I'm using my all-clad. And we are going to do 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. Get that turned on. So we're making the caramel. Okay, then we're going to do 1 cup of packed brown sugar. I'm going to use the same cup. So 1 cup. I'm using dark brown sugar because I like the molassesy when I'm making caramel. So that's 1/2 cup. Okay. 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 We need 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 cup of light corn syrup. I'm going to go grab that, and then 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, we want to get that up to a medium-high heat. I'm going to go grab the corn syrup. Oh, if you like my elf apron, I will get that linked. This is one of my best sellers at Christmas time on my Amazon store front. 1/2 cup of this. We'll probably have extra caramel sauce, but we'll probably use them on another recipe. Okay, we're going to get this up to a medium heat. I got dogs behind me. All right. Okay, so we are going to get this up to about 225, about 8 to 10 minutes. I've got, out of a 10, I've got mine set at an 8 on my stove, if that helps you for temperature reference. Put that in there. Okay, keep this going. Okay, that's cooking. So we made the Oreo balls, and then they're in the freezer for 10 minutes. Next I'm going, so while they're in the freezer for 10 minutes, I'm making the caramel sauce. I'm going to take them out of the freezer in about 5 minutes, and then we're going to coat them in chocolate. You can use melted chocolate. I am going to use from Aldi these melting chocolate wafers. These are amazing. If you have an Aldi, they taste just the same as chocolate chips and they melt really, really good. So I put them in the microwave for 30 seconds at a time until they are, the melting stage I need to dip the Oreo balls in. These are going to be so good. These Oreo balls too, while we're waiting for these, are super easy to freeze. So actually I'm up to like 20 different kinds of cookies and bars and candies already that I have in my freezer because I do a giant cookie box for a lot of people. These are one of my ones that you can freeze for 2 to 3 weeks before you even need to do them. So you can make these ahead of time, which is really, really nice, especially for that. So, okay, so I'm going to work on this sauce. So the sauce, we're just going to cook it until it gets to that 225, like a softball, and then we're going to let it sit for 15 minutes. So by the time I get the Oreo balls coated in chocolate, this caramel will be done. So I'm going to pause this, and then I'll show you the final product as soon as we get them coated in chocolate next. Okay, now the next step is we are going to take our melting wafers, or you can use chocolate chips, and we're going to dump them into a bowl. Microwave safe. I'm going to microwave them for 30 seconds at a time, or you can use a double boiler, but I find the microwave does exactly the same thing with a lot less mess. Okay, so now we wait. And I've still got the caramel going here too, so I'm checking the caramel. I'm going to use a wooden spoon for this. And then we are going to coat the cookie balls. Let's see, what could we talk about? My elf apron again. I just really like these ones from Aldi's because they melt so easy. Okay, 30 more seconds. So today's Oreo ball cookies. And then next is we have hot chocolate cookies coming up this week, and a Chex like cereal bar cookie type thing that I put in my cookie things every year. And I have Sammy. Come here, Sammy. Come here. Some people like to see you. See, this is one of my black labs, Sammy. Yep. Oops. Now I gotta wash my hands. Sammy's 4. And she loves to be in the kitchen. See her little head there? Oh, and then we have our old dog coming because she doesn't want to miss out. Solo. So they're always in here. Right, Solo. Okay, so I'm on my 3rd time. It usually takes me 3 to 4 times of 30 seconds to get the chocolate just right. Okay, I'm going to grab 2 forks. And the cookie balls out of the freezer. Okay, so this is what they look like before we coat them. Leave that there. Gotta stir my caramel. Okay, the caramel is just about done too, so I'll show you that. All right, we are there. Okay, so I took 2 times at 30 seconds and 1 time at 40 seconds, and now it's melted. All right, so the lady that tells me to put my hair up. Sorry, I just touched my hair. It's a nervous habit. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the cookie ball that's frozen, put it in the chocolate, flip it over, and look at that goodness. and it's just going to go right back on your cookie sheet. And then we're going to do all of these, and then they're going to go in the refrigerator for 30 minutes before we put the caramel. Look at how good that looks. Before we put the caramel and sea salt if we want on them. So this recipe is so good. Look at that. Yummy Oreo cookie balls. And this chocolate is just thick enough that like you won't see my fork tines. You could also use a toothpick. This may be what like the professionals maybe use, but you kind of got to want to work fast because you don't want them to unfreeze. I have a few that are not perfectly round, but who has ever seen a perfect cookie tray? Well, okay, there are perfect cookie trays out there for people that are really into this. Okay, so this is how you do it. So look at that. I'm going to show you how. Look at that Oreo cookie ball. All right, so I'm going to finish doing this. I have 36 of them. I'll have enough chocolate with that one bag to do all of them. And then I'll be back with the caramel. Okay, this is the last step. So we finished the caramel. So the caramel has the consistency like this. Okay, and I did some of the Oreo balls with sprinkles, and the rest we're going to cover with the caramel, or drizzle the caramel sauce over it. Okay, so because I'm drizzling, I'm going to take my jar scraper and just kind of drizzle over the top like this. Just do some light drizzling like that. I'm going to have extra caramel sauce, but I'm just going to store that in the fridge for other candy uses. So I'm going to do the caramel, and I'm going to add a tad bit of salt to a couple of them, and I'll show you that kosher salt. So just a tiny bit of a sprinkle on these, like that, on the caramel. You know, like 3 or 4 flakes on each one. Okay, so that's two different kinds of the Oreo balls. So we've got the caramel salted with the homemade caramel sauce, or we have where we put sprinkles on them. So you can do either or. I would assume kids would probably like the sprinkles a little bit more. Adults probably are going to go for the caramel. So that's it for our Oreo balls, and I hope you enjoyed these. And let me know if you have any questions or comments.